You still doing the same thing you were this time last year and the year before that and the year before that? Feels like Groundhog Day, right? And this is exactly how majority of the population in the world live, doing the same thing over and over and over again and promising themselves they'll make a change. Here's why it doesn't change: your values, the unconscious things that are important to you. If you value unconsciously safety over fun and freedom, well, you'll live a life that's very safe. May not be particularly comfortable, but it'll be safe. If your values around health are not very high up the list, you'll keep self-sabotaging. No matter how many times you practice the New Year's resolution and you promise yourself you're going to do it differently, you'll keep self-sabotaging. It's the reality of how things work if you have not reprogrammed and trained your unconscious mind to be able to live by the values that you choose rather than the default values that are programmed. So if you keep hitting a ceiling when it comes to financial freedom, or if you keep staying in that job that you've been promising yourself you'll get out of, yet you're about to celebrate 15 years in the same place, this is because your values are working against you or against what your conscious mind wants. Your values are unconsciously programmed, and no amount of willpower will override that unless you upgrade your nervous system. Harsh, but true. So if you've been setting the same New Year's resolutions year after year after year, this time it'll be different. This time I'm going to make it work. This time, there's your issue. Because this time you're still doing it with the same nervous system, the same neurology that got you in the pickle in the first place. You've actually got to change the nervous system. It's like asking an iPod to play a song it hasn't got. You know, back in the day where iPods were things, if you load that iPod with 10,000 songs, but you ask it to play a track you haven't put on it, how can it play it for you? Well, your unconscious mind and your programming is the same. You cannot play a track that you haven't got downloaded. So if you haven't got the track of financial freedom downloaded, if you've never witnessed that yourself because of your upbringing, because of your fears, because of your safeties, because of your comfort, how can you create financial freedom if your nervous system hasn't got the track to play that? It's the same with good relationships. If you've only ever witnessed shitty relationships, whether that be in your home life, whether that be in your workplace, if you've only ever witnessed shitty relationships, how can you do differently to that? You're asking yourself to play a track that is not downloaded. So this is where NLP, timeline therapy, and coaching can absolutely help transform your life. You get to recode and rewire your unconscious mind. You get to reprogram your nervous system. So that way you're no longer living from your past Groundhog Day programming. And you get to choose the programming you actually want to install and want to run from. So that way your values, what's important to you, are selected, not pre-programmed by somebody else. So often we run off the programming that someone else has installed, a well-meaning parent, a well-meaning coach or teacher, a sibling, a past experience. These people have hijacked your nervous system and you're still running the program. So if this is something you do, it can be changed, and it can be changed quickly. Unconscious minds work really quickly, but they need to be programmed. They need to be programmed the way you choose. Otherwise, they'll simply download your surroundings, your environment, what's around you. And if your environment is not conducive to growth, to financial freedom, to great relationships, then you're going to keep being pulled back to what your environment dictates for you. All of it is changeable, but you need to make the choice to change, and not the conscious choice. That's where it starts, consciously to choose change. But if you want change to actually hold and do better for your future, then you need to change your nervous system. So that way the autopilot that your body selects when you're tired or stressed is actually a program that works for you, not against you. So comment below NLP and I will send you the details of how I can show you how you can transform, how you can change the program, how you can reload the iPod with all the tracks that actually work for you, all the tracks that actually suit your goals, your desires, the things you actually deserve, rather than running on the tracks of someone else's doing, of someone else's download. This work is transformational and it's fast. And we now have a far more flexible training option. Our NLP Mastery Bundle has become far more flexible to be able to help each and every one of you transform your lives from the comfort of your own home at times that will actually suit you. I'm super excited about our new program. Reach out to me, DM, have a chat, comment below, and let's get that conversation started of how your future should look, not how we can predict it will look if you do nothing. What's the cost of doing nothing? You've only got to look 12 months ago to know exactly how 12 months from now will look if you do nothing. I look forward to helping. Reach out. Let's chat. Bye for now.